The map says this is Northern California, so mapmakers and visitors might be a bit confused about this sign, claiming this is the state of Jefferson.
The state of Jefferson, as originally envisioned, would be the same size as, say, New Mexico. And it would be like the 44th largest state and the 44th largest by population, too. So
it would actually be bigger than some existing states.
Correct, yes.
Jerry Byrne is chairman of the Modoc County Board of Supervisors, which passed a resolution in September to leave California and help form the state of Jefferson. A newspaper poll in next-door Siskiyou County showed overwhelming support after that county board also voted to leave. And the sentiment is spreading to other counties across Northern California. It is fed by anger across rural America, a mood of us against them, against big cities that increasingly dominate state legislatures, passing laws that some say ignore rural needs. When a state of California passes regulations about not cutting trees or things of that sort, is there a direct impact in your community?
Oh, of course there is. Our local economies in rural California are basically dependent on ranching, farming, timber, hunting, fishing. And every time we make bureaucratic decisions that impact that, we destroy the economies of the North State.
This isn't their first try. People in Northern California and Southern Oregon tried breaking away once before in 1941, even setting up roadblocks on the borders of a state of Jefferson. It fizzled out with the beginning of World War II. And it turns out that breaking away from one state to form a new one is as old as the United States, beginning in 1776, when the colony of Delaware broke from Pennsylvania. Maine was once part of Massachusetts. West Virginia and Kentucky were once part of Virginia, and Tennessee was a breakaway from North Carolina. And, of course, much of the South seceded and called itself a separate country until it was defeated in the Civil War.
Secession is a tradition almost like Thanksgiving, except Thanksgiving stays and secession comes and goes.
Douglas Brinkley is a professor of history at Rice University in Houston and a CBS News contributor. He says the Founding Fathers made sure rural America was listened to, starting with the way we choose a president.
That's why we have electoral college system, that we don't forget rural people, but that system of having 2 senators from every state, regardless of population, is a gesture, a big one, to rural populations that they are being listened to.
No way, Colorado, we're here to stay.
In northern Colorado this Tuesday, voters in 11 counties will decide about letting their county commissioners explore breaking away from the state.
I think that it's not a good way to solve problems.
I actually completely support it.
Opinions are mixed.
I think that we should.
Why?
Because we are not getting heard.
Pretty soon we'll have 100 states potentially, or if you get dissatisfied, you're going to walk away.
I've never seen the level of frustration.
A forum sponsored by the League of Women Voters drew a full house in Weld County.
Something's changed in the last decade.
Sean Conway is a county commissioner.
The Colorado we love has changed.
Chuck Sylvester listened carefully. What generation of Colorado or a farmer are you?
I'm the 4th generation on this farm.
His family started this farm in 1869, which he and his wife Ronnie still run. Now he lives in a Colorado with legalized marijuana, new gun control regulations, and civil unions for gays.
In my job that I had many people of different sexual preferences. And some of them were like sons and daughters to me. I thought so much about them. But it is defined by God in the Bible. The marriage is between a man and a woman. Don't change that.
So that wasn't your culture when this was being dealt with?
That's very correct.
Historian Douglas Brinkley. When I hear the word values by people in rural areas. Is this part of what's at play, that our culture has really changed dramatically?
Absolutely. Anybody who's a hardened secessionist, in the end, you're going to find just that doesn't like the other. And the other tends to be people with different colored skin or different cultural values than the ones they grew up with in their particular county.
But values are beside the point for Ronnie Sylvester.
What's specific for me is the economics of it. And we see a lot of economic decisions being made by the populace that have a direct negative impact on those of us in the rural areas.
Weld County is rich in oil, and that means fracking. Some want fracking banned because of potential environmental damage.
If you have property, for example, with gas, oil, and mineral rights on it, you should have the right to allow that to be explored. A lot of people are dependent on their royalties now, particularly our senior citizens. It's their security.
But the constitutional hurdles for breaking away were set high. First, a state's legislature must approve, and then the U.S. Congress must vote to accept the new state.
I'm a native Coloradan. I don't want to separate from the state of Colorado.
State Representative Dave Young, who opposes the whole idea, represents part of Weld County in the Colorado House of Representatives. He doubts that secession would fly in the Colorado legislature.
If we just build walls and refuse to talk to each other,
And start
that's
subdividing in different
that's
states.
the dangerous piece.
Why dangerous?
I think we lessen our power as a country.
How do you mean?
When we split off in different directions, are we really as powerful as we were before?
We pride ourselves in this country on a willingness to hear everybody out. Is it kind of a good thing that these people are saying these things?
I don't find the attention's good because you're leading people down a garden path to nowhere. It never ends. If you start indulging one secessionist movement, then you'll have to indulge another, and there would be no United States.
In Northern California, they feel they no longer have a choice. Pro-secessionist Jerry Byrne.
We're so outnumbered, I don't know that politically there is another viable way. You know, I mean, this at least focuses the attention on the problems that exist. Is it something that's going to be easy to do? No. You know, is it something possible? Maybe. There's a lot of people behind this movement.